Hello and welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Aspire to Inspire Arts and Crafts. What I'm doing here is faux spools. And the reason why I'm doing faux spools is because I've really been wanting to do some snippets or snippet row. And so, and that's what I'll be doing. And they're going to be wrapped around my faux spools that I'm making. Now, I have this size, 3 of these. And I have 3 of these, and then small ones. So this is the smallest size, and these are 5 inches. So I got 5 inches. Wait a minute. These are 3.5. No, 4. These are shy of 4, and this is 3.5. So this is 3.5, almost 4. And then these are 2 inches. So these are all different sizes. And so, so I cut them up. I knew I had to do something with them. And the first thing that popped into my mind was spools. So I'm making faux spools. And so, so those are the sizes that I'm working with. And so what I did, on this one, I used 18 to 19 rounds, cuts that I made, and I had to, I used something to trace this. I think it was a jar. So, and then now I'm going to use my 2-inch punch, because I think these 2-inch punch will look perfect on this size. So I didn't want to have something this big on a 2-inch. That's too much. So I thought I'd reduce it down to this size. And I think that would be perfect. My snippet rolls, or whatever I decide to wrap this with, will be smaller as far as going around. This one, I have plenty to make a long snippet and wrap this around, or I could put 2 on each side. And so, and then this one, this is the size that I really like, the 3-inch, and this is the one that I'm going to also make out of snippets. That's why they have a longer width to it, because when you do a snippet, it's kind of clustered, and when it's clustered, the thickness is going to rise if you do about 4 to 5. And so I wanted to make sure that it stayed within the side of the spool. So that's the reason why these are long. Now these I wanted to probably put lace or paper snippets, which would work really nice, or clustered, the same thing. So what I did is I punched 1 right now. And so this is the size that I'm going to do. I was thinking of going ahead and making it a little bit bigger. But no, I think this will work perfectly for this size, because that's the one that I'm working next. Because you see, I'm doing 3 and then 2 of each of the other ones. So this is the next, oh no, this is that size. So these are the 3 that I'm doing, and then these are the 3. So I wanted to bring it down to the next size, and these are the next size. See the difference? So those are the next ones. So I'll be doing these, and then I'll be doing these, the last ones. Now, I noticed that this is from a different one, but these were this was that long roll that I made, and so I made 2 more. So I cut this one up. So I'm going to be working with this one, because I want to make the next size. And then this one would fit perfect right here on this spool. So that's the one that I'm going to be using right here. So so I got to cut about 8, so it'll be 16 or 18, depending whether I go 8 or 9 to each sides. And so that would give me all the circles that I need to complete this one. And then I'll show you what I do next. So this is as far as I'm showing you because that's all I can do for right now. And I don't think you want to see me punching all these and then come back with all the pieces and I'll show you what I do after that. Make these. Like I said, I cut about 8 or 9, 10, depending on the width that you want it. And then when that was done, what I did is I carved the inside so that I could snug my roll in here. Now I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to show you how I do this. And you have to be very careful because you got to remember you're dealing with the blade here. So what I do is I go around slowly. Take your time on this and make sure your blade is sharp. Mine is already getting a little bit dull, but when I started, it was sharp. So you just keep going around the circle that you made to put the tube in here. Now the tube, I got it from the wrapping. As you notice, it's very thick. It's not like toilet tissue. I mean, you know, the roll that everybody's been using for pockets and stuff like that. This is actually a wrap, a roll that I had. And I had so many of them that I cut them up so I can make some spools. So yeah, so these are the ones that I've already finished. But I wanted to show you how I cut this because it's very important. So let me snug that one back in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue all the way around it. You'll see that in a minute. So make sure you make a wale so that this way you could insert the tube. Now I already went all the way around it. And the easy way to do this is to make a cross. Okay? Like that. Okay? And then from the middle, make sure your hands is away from the knife. You see the Sharpie is over there, so I'm over here. So make sure that when you try to pick up the layers, that you stay away from the Sharpie part of the X-Acto knife. And so that's all I'm doing. I'm just going in here, lifting up some layers that I glued on. I think the easy way to do this is, because there are some spools that have the circle in the middle. Now what you could do is make donuts. Instead of making circles, you can make donuts. And that would eliminate the insert of these tubes. And you could just put the tube there and then cover it over with paper design to make it look pretty, because that's what I'm going to do with mine. I want to paint these. So I'll probably gesso all of it because this way it'll capture the color that I want for my spools. And so I was going to go with the brown, the typical wood color of the spools, but I decided that I want to make them into colors. So I will be using turquoise, off-white, and a mauve color. And then what I'm going to do, you'll see that later. So, but that's my intention. I want to paint these in those colors and then decorate it on top. You just keep going around and around until you get it into a pretty nice whale carved in here, so that this way you could insert the tube. Okay, and then once you do that, then you go back and you make another X. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am just removing some of the layers from here. Now, the easy way to do this, like I said, is make some donuts, but make a couple of layers solid so that you could have that on the top, and then the donuts in the middle with the size of the tubing that you're using, because you got to measure that. Once you got all your donuts, and then you could start layering the solid one first, maybe about 3 of them or 4, or well, since this has 8, no, it has 10, you could go 5 solids, and then 5 of the donuts to give you the insert for the tube. Now, I have a whole bunch of empty glue stick, and that would be nice, and it will fit right in here too. That could be something you could use to put if you don't have no tubes, and put these on there. Glue it right here, snug, just like this one. And then this one would be solid. It will be glued like that. But so yeah. So whatever type of tubing you might have that you collecting. I collected. I'm collecting all my empty glue stick because, again, as crafters, we hold on to everything because ideas always pop in your mind, and you just want to. And what I do, I just kind of scrape it, make sure that I'm getting the ends, because that's very important. Because if you don't have the end cut right or remove the paper from it, it's not going to insert your tube in here because it's in the way. So, so yeah, PVC pipe will work really good too. But and then again, how to paint that? Yeah, you're going to have to get the right colors, the right painting for that because it's plastic. But I'm going to gesso mine because this is paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and I haven't decided whether I want to use my Indian ink or go with the acrylic paint. If I go with the acrylic paint, if I don't have the turquoise, I would have to make that, which it's going to take a couple of paints to get the turquoise that I need for the spool. But I do have the turquoise in the Indian ink, and so that's why I want to gesso this, because I think the Indian ink will look nice. And then after I do that, what I would like to do is paint it with a little bit of brown, or use my distress oxidized or the vintage, just a regular distress ink vintage, and go over the paint so you can give it that antique look. So yeah, so that's my goal here. What I'm doing is that I'm sticking to what I have, and I need to get rid of a lot of my scraps that I do have. I didn't realize how much I had until I moved here. And then since there's a lot of events going on right now, I'm not going to be participating in, not unless it really captures my interest, like Halloween and Christmas. Now, July, it's too early for me for Christmas. So when that time comes, and then I will take this time. Last year, I was kind of in a hurry with my Inktober because I was on a project, and at the same time, I was getting behind on my Inktober, and that is something that I treasure of doing every year. So this year, I'm going to make sure that I do not. Okay, so we know that fits in there. So now I'm going to turn it on this side and make sure that it fits. So no, it doesn't. So you see, so now I need to, because you see the pencil line's there. So you see, I didn't cut all the way through the pencil line. So I need to go back and now go where the pencil line is at. And it's right here. I can see the pencil. Yeah, so that gives you the size of the tubing that you want to insert into this that I'm making here. So anyway, so yeah, so, and be careful. Make sure that the blade is always away from you. Okay, and when you're doing this, go slow at it. I've been doing already so many of them that I already got the hang of it, so I'm kind of going pretty fast with this. But at first, I was very slow. Want to make sure I don't cut myself. So there you go. So let's see now. Yeah. Oh no. Let me see. Is it in there? Yes, it is. There it is. And here's the other side. I made this a little bit big, but that's okay. When I glue it, it's going to be there. And then if I need to use texture paste to cover these part, I will. And so you see, there it is. So now to glue this, what I do is I just go on the edge because I want the edge to capture of the tubing. And then I want the bottom of the tubing where it's cut to capture. So all I really need is this part. I don't need the whole thing. There's no need for that. If you don't want to use this kind of glue, you could use the hot glue gun. Then what I like to do is I like to go on that side just to make sure that this tacky glue, because that's what I use tacky glue, and captures the tubing all the way around. See, so all I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going all the way around to make sure it captures the glue. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. Pop this off. This one's pretty snug, which that's the way it's supposed to be, snug. But the other one is going to work. The other side's going to work anyway because of the glue. And you see? So there it is. So all I'm going to do is just let it sit. Now, once this is done, then I'm going to sand these up. I have my sand block. And then all you're going to do now is come in here and just sand it down. Just go all the way around and sand it. Okay? And that's all you're going to do. Just go all the way around it. Get it as smooth as you can. But that would be my spools. So altogether, how many did I make? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I made 10. So 10 it is. I got 10 spools that I'm going to be working with. This one was white, so this one I still got to gesso it. As you can notice, I went according to what I had, the cardboards that I had, the boxes, and some of them were white, so that doesn't matter. So there was a few, and then this one had some writing on it, images, which that's okay too, but it's going to be all covered and all sand and everything. So that's where I'm going to stop. So I'll see you in a while, but for you guys, it will be a split second because I will pause it and I will connect these two videos together. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, the first thing I did is these are the Archival ink and Distress ink that I use. For the mauve, I used the Archival ink, which is picked raspberry. And what I did is I used my ink distresser pads, or I call them daubers. And I just went all over the place, okay? So it really was really pink, okay? And then I went on the edges, and on the inside here, I used festive berries. Again, I have a little thin brush for my distress, and I did that all the way around it. So I could just get the corners, the ends, the inside of it. So that's what I did for this. Once I did all that, then I went ahead and I used, this is the Indian ink that I was talking about. Now I only use the sepia. It's Bombay ink. And I water this down because this is very potent. If I was to use just straight off the bottle, it would leave a spot. So, and I didn't want that. I wanted it very diluted water. So when I did that, I just went through here and I started putting it all over the pink. As you can see, I put some water on there, and then I put the sepia with the water and diluted it, and then just kind of went like that, and it swiveled and made all these different designs on it, okay? So once I did that, and then I went back to the acrylic paint. And what I did with that, I diluted this, okay? I diluted my white paint, my acrylic paint, and what I did is I added a lot of water to it and just went in here and made it off-white. But still not too white to where it took away the pink. But I wanted it mauve, so I put the white here so they could change the brightness to this mauve color that I call it. Now, once I did that, then I went back to the Indian ink, the sepia, and went all the way around it again one more time. So this is how it looked. Then once that was done, and then this is when I used the Distress Oxidite, and I distressed it all over. I did the inside. I used my small brush that I have for the inside here, and on the edge, and on the sides, and on the inside. So I used distress, and this is how they came out. So that was the pink one, the mauve color that I'm calling it. Okay, so that's what I did to that. Now for the off-white, I did the same thing. I went in here, and instead of using oxidite or Carvo ink, I just used a straight paint. And I diluted it with water, but not as much water, because I wanted this to look white. So I went ahead, but it had water in there to where if you were to pick the brush, it would drip. So that's the texture of the paint and water that I wanted. So I went in here and I painted it all white. It looked very chalky. And so I just painted it all over like that. Then I went in here and got my sepia again, the Indian ink, again with the diluted water and with the ink. And then I went in here and did the same thing. Put water here and then put the sepia with the water and just rolled it around. And I used my paintbrush to do that. And then I did the edge and the inside, the sides here. And then the same thing here, and then in here and here. So I did all of that. Then once I was finished with this, then I went ahead and used my Oxidite Distress. Again, the same way like I did the pink one, the mauve. And I just went in here and did the same thing. And this is how my white one came out. I really like the way they came out. I really love them. You might not like this. You might just stick to acrylic paint. You might choose I was thinking of gold, maybe put gold here after I finish doing the top part. It's the same thing with the turquoise. Now, what I used for the turquoise was these two colors. Oh, did I tell you? Did I tell you that the Distress Oxidite was Festive Berries? I don't remember mentioning that, but anyway. And then the picked raspberry for this one. Okay, this one was just acrylic paint, the sepia, and then after I finished with that, I used the Distress all over it, and that's how that came out. Okay, now for the turquoise, what I end up doing, I end up using Mermaid Lagoon. This is archival ink from Ranger. It's Distress ink. And so I used this all over this. Now it was a very bright blue. It was very bright blue. So then I used the paint. This paint is very cheap paint, but I saw it at $50 for this whole bottle. I couldn't pass it up. So I used this and diluted it with water and painted all over. And then it turned into a lighter blue, which the color that it started to look more turquoise to me. But I also used the faded jeans. The faded jeans I used on the edge, and I used around this and here, and I also distressed it on top here, and also in the middle here. So this one was a little bit different, where I was able to use the faded G and the Mermaid Lagoon together to make this. So these two came together, and then again, once I faded it with the paint, then like I said, I started using the sepia Indian ink, and then I did that, and then I went over it again a little bit with not too much the mermaid, but more with the faded jean. And then I got my distress and then did that. So this is how my turquoise spool came out, my mauve and my antique white came off. So this is what I wanted to do. I am very happy because it turned out exactly how I wanted it done. Now I didn't use these expensive paint. I've had these art carver for a long time, and these distress for a long time. I wasn't gonna go to the store and go get me some paint, the turquoise paint or whatever. I do have turquoise paint, but I didn't use that. I have my Indian ink that I could have used, but if I use my Indian ink, they will be so strong that I only use it for mixed media, which I dilute it with a lot of water. So that's why this ink has lasted me a long time. Now, again, all of this I had for a long time, but also they were on sale, clearance sale, because that's what I'm always looking for. This at Hobby Lobby when they were 50% off. So, I always find my bargains. I'm not in a hurry to get my stuff, I have what I have and I'm using what I have. Now, the only thing that was stopping me from continuing doing what I want to do was that I was involved in too many of the events that was going on by all these crafters. So I had to, in order for me to do what I really want to do, I have to pull away from them. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't join them if I'm interested in something that I really love to do. I will join them. But for right now, they're into Christmas, and I'm not into Christmas right now. So I thought I'd do this. So yeah, so this is how they came out. I didn't do a video because this would have taken too long on the video. But again, you choose your colors. You choose the colors that you want. So this is how they look. So the next thing I'm going to do is work on these two. I need to get these back. I really want an off-white to go with this set. Here. And then I want this off-white to show a little bit better than what it does right here. So that doesn't look good. So, and then you see here's my set right there. These three right here are my set. And this one will be as soon as I get this one white. And then I'm going to leave these the way they are. I really like that. I don't want to change the colors on these. I think these are good enough the way I like that. But definitely change this and definitely make this one a little bit more whiter. And make this one white. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm going to gesso this. And this one I'm just going to use the white paint too. So what I'm going to do now, this is what I did. I went in here. I already have some water, a puddle of water in there. And then I'm going to get some of this sepia and put it on the side over here. And I do a little bit at a time. I don't use a lot of this because it's very powerful and it'll really darken your stuff. So now what I'm going to do, I grabbed this brush. Hopefully that would be good. It's sufficient for me to do what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm just going to put the water all around here. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can. So there it is, all the waters, the puddle waters on here. Now I'm going to get a little bit of sepia, put it over here, get some water, just a little bit of sepia, and then I'm just going to put it on here. And the more water you use, the more it starts to drip. You see what it's doing? And that's what I want. I want this to drip. And that's what I did to the other ones. And you could go in here with your pen, with your paintbrush, and if you want to capture it all everywhere. But this is what I did. I just kind of made it drip here and there. The next thing I'm going to do is go to the next part, which is the inside here. And this is how I do this. I just go all the way around it, and I put a lot of water, as much as I can, on here. And then I use the sepia. Gotta dilute it, because remember, if you don't, it'll get too dark, and I don't want it dark. I want it light. I want this to be kind of like distressed, which is doing what I want it to do. Yeah, I did it again, but I'm trying not to do too much of it. And you want it to get in here too. I forgot to mention that part. You want it in here. Now that you got the inside here, now what you're going to do is start working on the two part. So it's changing color on me, and that's what I want. I want the color to drip down and get it looking like this all the way around it. And so that's what I got going here so far. And if you want to, you could put your paint in here, your paintbrush, and work it out a little bit if you want to. That looks good to me. So I'm going to leave that alone. Now I'm going to work on the next part, which is this part. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop now. You see what I'm doing now. And I'm going to stop and continue doing the rest. I just have this top, the rim, and this part. But you saw how I did it. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to stop here and finish it up, and then I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. I finished my project. I am really happy with the outcome. Look at how beautiful it came out. this is the top. All I have to do is put Mod Podge matte on here. This is the only sealer I have to finish this off, because you do have to put a sealer on here so that no water will stain this, or any drops that might fall on this, you could just wipe it off. So yeah, so I have to use a sealer to finish these off. So that's all I have to do now. But I use gesso, and then I use sepia. You saw that. Then I use the distress. You saw the colors that I used for the blue one, and you saw the colors that I used for the mauve. And then I didn't have color for the white one, so I used acrylic paint, white acrylic paint to this one. And so so that's what I did. And then once I've done that, then I used the sepia, and I used a lot of water so that it could drip, so it could make these little designs more like, looks like wood to me. But to do that, you could skip this if you want to, or you could do this to make it, like wood. It's a preference. And then after I did that, and then I went ahead and I distressed it. I glue these on, and I distressed everything. Got the design paper that I wanted on top. I didn't put nothing on the bottom. And now I just need to seal this. I did the gold. I used gold acrylic paint to do the edges of my spools, and on the inside, and also on the top of the paper to blend it in. And now I just need to seal it with Mod Podge. It's a sealer, and so that's what I'll be using for this. And so after I finish with that, if you need to distress it a little bit more, go for it. Get it that antique look that you want to it, and that's what I did to mine. And so this is it. I am really happy the way they came out. I am so impressed with the outcome. It's beyond my imagination. I didn't think it was going to come out this beautiful, but it is beautiful. The gold gives it that shabby chic look that I wanted to have. As you know, you saw my crafts room. It's not really shabby. It's a crafts room, but I want to decorate it. And so I'm starting out by doing my faux spools. And then I want to do some snippets, some rose snippets and some fabric snips. And then I want to do some paper snippets. And I have something on mind that I want to do, but I'm not going to tell you now until I get to it, so I could surprise you all on the other rolling that I'm going to do on here. Okay, so this is it for now. Thank you for stopping by and watching my video. I don't spend too much time decorating it. I figured that is something you could all just choose on your own and decorate. I did give you the details on how I made mine. So if you want to make it that way, you could just go back to the video clip and just go over it, take notes as to how I made mine. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. But anyway, you do that and take notes. And then this way, when you're doing yours, you could look at the notes so that you could do it this way. There's other crafters out there that are also doing this. So I'm not the only one. So they all have their unique ways of doing this. My unique way is making the two fit into the side of the spool. That is my way. Also, the gold around here. And now I'm going to just put the matte Mod Podge over it so that I could give it that seal. You want to seal it, and the reason why you want to seal it is because, let's say you're crafting and all of a sudden you spill water or coffee on top of this, on top of these, it's going to stain it because there's no sealer to protect the image. So in order to protect the image, you have to really have a sealer so that you won't have that problem if you want to keep them how you want them to look. So that's what I'm going to do. I really love the way they look. I don't want them stained, so I'm going to go ahead and seal it with Mod Podge. That's the only brand that I have and the only sealer that I have right now. I do have an aerosol. Again, thank you for watching. So this is the outcome. Look at how pretty they look when you put them sideways. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. It was beyond my imagination when I was going to do this. I didn't think it was going to come out this beautiful, but it did, and I am like, wow. So yeah, you could do the same thing. Do you have to buy, you could buy them. I was thinking of buying some wooden spools, but I had the papers, and I figured I could do some faux spools, and you could too if you want to. This is probably not an option for a lot of you, which I understand. But for those who are crafters and want to do something like this, I would really recommend that you do and see how yours come out. And then once you finish yours, show me your design. Show me how you made yours, because I would love to see it. You can always tag me, and this way I'll make sure that I see your video and comment on it. So yeah, so that's it. And now I gotta leave because I need to Mod Podge this. Once I finish Mod Podging the top of this, the next thing, what I'm doing after this, I'll be doing snippets so I can finish these up. And so that's what I'll be working on. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. And thank you for stopping by. Please hit the notification button, share, and put a like. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.